big crowd against Glasgow City, fantastic opener, Lizzie Arnott, goalkeeper sent off, shots off the woodwork. It felt and it looked like a big top of the table game. How did you cope yourself with that?
I think we were really looking forward to the game. I think in previous, when we first started the programme there would have been a wee bit of nervous energy, would I like to say, but I think everything was positive, and I think the girls are now at a stage where they really are looking forward to these games. They can't wait for the stage, they can't wait for all the hype and everything that goes around about the game. And I think again it's just the experience that they're getting through time, from the build up to all the kind of press that goes round about the game, and then it's just as you said, a fantastic crowd that turned up. And I think the girls really used the whole week in preparation there to put a display on, which they did.
Chantal Swilby had kind of come on to a game. I thought some of her early performances, she seemed a little bit nervous, a little bit tentative. But she had a couple of great clearances, both with feet and head at the weekend. How have you been dealing with her to bring her almost out of her shell?
I think what people don't realise, even probably not until you're in the moment here at Rangers, the enormity of playing with Rangers. I think we do our due diligence in scouting players for their footballing attributes. But what you can never ever comprehend is, having to pull that blue jersey on and represent Rangers Football Club, which is another side of it. And you only really get to know the type of person when they go through it. They go through the experience of it. And I think Chantel's now really, really happy in Glasgow. She understands the culture a bit better. And I think the one thing that we do know about Chantal Swilby is that she can play, and she's very, very quick. I think one of the games that we played pre-seasons against Chelsea, there was nobody getting away from her at that level. But I think just having the training, the environment, the game time now is really standing in good stead now for moving forward. So the confidence has grew.
Against Hamilton, bottom the league, but obviously vital to win against. How's the squad looking in terms of injuries and suspensions?
Yeah, well, I think what we've experienced in the past is that when we do get a number of games together, we're still getting used to being that, being very robust and being able to deal with it. We're fortunate that we've got a big enough squad now. With real quality within the group. We spoke about it this morning, that no matter what 11 that we put out there, every one of them deserves to start. And it then just comes down to myself and the staff to try and ascertain and pick the best 11 for that particular game. But I think, as you said there, and quite rightly said there, we don't at Rangers, make any difference between playing Celtic, City or Hamilton or Motherwell or Hibs. Every game is massively important to us, and that's the way we go about it. That the same preparation, the same detail, the same attention to detail is spent in the focus on gaining 3 points.
With Jenna been sent off, Megan Cunningham comes in. She's had a bit of a long trek, to coping with injuries and coming back in. Is this the right time for her?
Yeah, I think we were possibly going to be looking at maybe changing one or two for the game anyway, and certainly the conversation had came up that we would possibly put Megan. Obviously, we need to keep people game ready, so it's important that we share minutes not just with the outfield players but with goalkeepers as well. But Megan Cunningham's an absolute professional. Her attitude's second to none. She trains quietly, she trains hard, she pushes Jenna pushes Megan also. So that relationships that have been formed from when we first started the programme come into play. So there's we're fortunate that we do have a second goalie, if you want to call her a second goalie, coming in there to be our first goalkeeper. She's more than capable of being our first goalkeeper.
There were five Rangers players named in the Scotland squad this morning, including Sam Kerr and Lizzie Arnott. You were pleased about that?
Really pleased for all the girls. I think as well, we've got other players there, like Chelsea Cornets and And just to name one there that have been playing well. But I think credit to the girls, the 5 that have been selected, and I think the other players that have been playing round about, those players have certainly culminated in getting into the squad. So yeah, it's good and really healthy for the club that we've got a good representation of players for our national side, which is important.
Sam had an injury issue, of course, but were you surprised that Lizzie had been left out of the previous squad?
I don't think surprised. I think managing at any level is difficult, and there's only so many you can play. Certainly, I've got that problem here. Come a Sunday, I can only put 11 players on the park, and it's just your choice in the moment at the time. But really pleased that Lizzie's been included again and back in the squad, because she's a player who will be able to play in numerous positions. She can play on the left side, the right side. She can play as a 10 also. So I'm quite sure that the Scotland manager will be able to utilise her strengths within his squad, depending on what moment he's in.
And finally, for me, Malky, what do you expect from Hamilton tomorrow night?
I think it'll be a hard game. I think we've done really well to play in the manner we played against City, but again, it's a different challenge. It'll be a completely different dynamic run about the game, and it's something that we've focused on, and we focused on this morning about things that we need to do, and the way that we need to go about trying to hopefully get 3 points against Hamilton, because as we've said, it's just as important to win every game by game.
How impressed have you been with your team this season? I know it's still early, but to be still unbeaten in the league and showing character after going down to 10 men, how impressed were you with your team? I think
it's a matter of time. I know that when we first put the squad together, we knew that nothing happens overnight. You can train as we train day in, day out, but again, it's about there's a process in what we do. It's about forming relationships, understanding players that are run about you. It's about winning together and being in different situations together, going down a goal, going up 3 or 4 goals, and how you manage situations. So I think it's just an accumulation of positive behaviour and our daily actions and training that then we can bring onto the pitch come a Sunday.
And just as well as unbeaten, Malky, and your team is actually the best goal difference in the league at the moment. Is that something you've been impressed with as well, along with your performances?
I think when you hit the levels that our team just now is hitting, we've got a lot of the ball, and to be fair, we've got goals coming from different areas of the pitch. So we're starting to see evidence of training sessions, repeating practices, and being really sure about what we're doing, especially around about the box. But also, when we're out of possession, regaining the ball back and just being absolutely relentless in our approach.
Did you have the chance to see Jenna Fife's red card back? Did you think it was a red at the time, or what's your thoughts on it now?
I think it's done. I think she's obviously committed to come out to the challenge. She's tried to win the ball. I think Odie's managed to get a nick on the ball first, and Jenna's momentum's just taken her through. I don't think there was any malice in what she's done. But the rules of the game are that's the law, and she saw red, and the end of the story.
Last time there's got a big game on Sunday. I was just wondering if you think that will change your team plans at all tomorrow against Hamilton, if one eye on Sunday, or are you just going to keep the strong team?
We'll just focus on Hamilton. Celtic will not come into our thoughts until we get the Hamilton game out the road. It'd be totally remiss of me to start looking ahead. We've never done it in the past. We've never done it in the men's game even with the youth. When we're at Rangers, we always have that mantra where we train hard, we work hard, we look game by game at every level at the club. That's all the way right through. So no, total focus on Hamilton, total 100% concentration in that game.